Yeah.
You want more light or light?
Yeah, let me check. happy Tuesday. Glad that we are here in Satsang. Uh, Today, let's first talk about the Satsang as an overview, and then we'll talk a little bit about service as well. We had done that a couple of weeks back. We haven't really spent that much time on that topic. And then we'll, as usual, we'll do the practice and then open up for any interaction. So, yep. So let's start with the overview. So satsang, as I think we have talked about before, sat and sang. It is made up of two words in Hindi or Sanskrit, where sat means the transcendental energy, and sang means to be with. So to be with the transcendental energy is satsang. And as it was really uniquely configured and packaged by Guru Maharaj, so one of the ingredients is meditation, which is at the core of this practice, and that's what we will do shortly. And but there are other aspects to this in terms of the role of the guide, in terms of service, in terms of a community, a family, a group that helps each other in this journey. And inward orientation. So given that peace is inside, and we're searching for it outside, so this whole practice, as Guru Maharaj configured it, is very much an inner practice where you look inwards, because peace is inside and not in the outer world. So we don't have to really go anywhere. We just have to figure out and practice to find that peace within. And right from the get-go, a family atmosphere or a very cohesive group that practices together, that not only you participate, but your participation is part of your own journey, as well as it supports everyone else's journey, as well as there is this group energy aspect, which you feel that the difference between the individual practice versus practice done in group, significantly different energy levels. So group's collective energy affects everyone in the group session. And joy and inner happiness, that is, in a way, that's the goal. But achieving joy and inner happiness is, a task that happens as you move along in the practice. Your level of inner happiness keeps increasing. Joy that is not tied to, any physical possessions or power or, anything that is material. It's just there. And the level of joy, the depth and breadth keeps increasing as your practice evolves. So, today I want to just go over service a little further. you know, we talked about this. Guru Maharaj has written about it in his 7 volume book. Um, he says, serve everyone with selflessness. You will, and if you do that, you will not need anything to be peaceful and happy. So, uh, service is complementary, supplementary, but it can be its own, um, you know, so uh, I have seen people who don't even need to meditate, but they are increasingly peaceful and happy just doing service. So, but the key thing there is the word selfless. And that is where I think the services um, differ when you know, when you expect something back, even at a later point, or if it is not visible on the surface, um, that is where um, the service gets tainted, and the effect of peace and uh, inner joy that would come out of it gets affected as well. So if you want to please God, serve uh, God's children. So, if um, if there is a short path to peace and happiness and joy, it is service. Um, so Guru Maharaj says that people who are selfish and self-centered to a degree that they don't have any good intentions for others, they will have a hard time achieving peace. So on the other hand, what this service promotes is that you ought to love others as much as you love yourself. Love thy neighbor, provide food and comfort to others, serve others, but don't expect something back. And be humble. Don't let pride get in the way. So let selflessness, humility, and forgiveness define you, and let it become your second nature. Guru Maharaj quotes Upanishads uh, where it says that God is everywhere and permeates the entire universe. So we all should see him in everyone and in everything. So don't, go after other people's possessions. Don't get attracted or attached to these material possessions, and especially of others. That is, and he goes on to say that that's the essence of all religions and religious ideologies and scriptures. So, don't desire others' possessions. Think of everyone as God, and uh, serve them with devotion. Don't discriminate. Remove any aspects of me and mine, and replace them with, uh, you know, uh, um, you know, me and mine to you and yours. And then he also quoted a Sufi saint. He used to say that if I take service or help or assistance from anyone, then I would be obligated to that person. That becomes a moral binding and obligation. So why should I take someone's obligation? That will distract me from my own service. I prefer to serve others as much as I can, and I can't see others in suffering. Hence, I try to help others physically, psychologically, like moral support, and spiritually as well. I and he used to go that far that I didn't get what I have, which is his spiritual wealth, um, through the Sufi methods, but through service. Hence, I love service, and it gives me such immense pleasure and satisfaction. I do allow folks who are close to me to provide their help and assistance, their service, because it helps them to learn to sacrifice, to give, and that leads to some level of detachment. This detachment then helps their practice. So, you know, so basically, service inherently, you know, leads to higher level of detachment and provide this ability to give, which in itself is more about, you know, um, how um, how one gets to a higher level, to a higher consciousness and higher awareness. So anyway, so back to our practice. So let's uh, so let's you know start with looking inwards, and what helps there is uh, sitting in a relaxed and still posture, because that keeps the distraction of our mind away, because every time body moves, our mind moves with it. And then eyes lightly closed, because um, the sensory input also distracts our mind. So eyes lightly closed and relaxed and still posture. And then think of this transcendental energy that's right here, right now, right in front of us. And it's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. When mind wanders away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now, and it's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming the light. We'll start with music that helps concentration. Then music fades away and we go deep into silent meditation. And then we transition out with music again. So let's start. A happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm glad that we are here in Satsang. Talked a little bit about service today. So today is a today was a great session. I also have someone visiting me from India. So yeah. Any thoughts, questions, comments before we wrap up? So, Omkar, Anita ji, any questions, Jeff, Racy?
नमस्ते भैया I have no question. It was a good session. Thank you.
Namaskar, Bhai Saab. Good evening, everyone. It was a great session. Yes, service, very important. As much as we can do, we have to try to do more. And I hope I take that message. And thank you.
Yeah, I think more and more I think about service as another dimension to the practice where, as you evolve, so if nothing else, after certain point in the evolution of the practice, as we are, vertically climbing through the pyramid, through the 5 layers, um, at some point, without service, I think being augmented to it, it's very hard to, uh, you know, continue the ascent because it's like that. You know, so in a way, the advanced practitioners kind of help uh, the early practitioners because it helps each other. So yeah. As they say, love and you know uh, spiritual wealth only increases when you share. So, yeah. And Guru Maharaj, I think when he starts talking about service, he says the best way to help yourself is to help others. So, all right. And yeah, got a note from Eddie that in a couple of weeks he should be back. So hopefully he's recovering well. So on that note, have a great week ahead. Peace, light, and love be with you. Just practice, 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 and you know, um, I think every time I sit here in these sessions, it just feels that uh, it's a way to share what this practice is so unique that it's hard to describe, and so that's another thing that we ought to do better to figure out how to articulate this unique method. And so while it has like all these common elements, but uh, it's still the blend is so unique, brings so many things together. So let's make the best of the opportunity. And, continue to move forward upwards to a higher ground. All right. See you all soon.
Bye.
Bye, Jeff. Bye, AC.
Namaste, Vijay. Bye, everyone.
Namaskar, Omkar. Namaskar, Renuji. Namaskar.
Bye-bye.
सादर प्रणाम भैया.
Namaskar.
Good night.
Good night.